Have you ever seen a machine so massive it looks like it came straight out of a sci-fi movie? Meet the BelAZ 75710, the world's biggest dump truck, a monster that can carry over 450 tons in a single trip. This beast is so powerful, so mind-blowingly huge, that it makes regular trucks look like toy cars. But here's the crazy part. You won't believe what powers it, how much fuel it burns, or its insane price tag. Stick around, because today we're revealing 10 jaw-dropping facts about this engineering marvel. And before we dive in, hit that subscribe button for more epic content. Number 1. Imagine a truck so enormous that standing next to it feels like standing beside a skyscraper on wheels. This is the BelAZ 75710, the largest dump truck ever built. It's not just big, it's a titan, a monster designed to carry loads so massive that a fleet of regular trucks would need multiple trips to match just one haul. When it was introduced in 2013, the world had never seen anything like it. Even today, nothing comes close. Just how big is it? Let's break it down. This colossus is 20.6 meters, 67.6 feet long, which is longer than an NBA basketball court. It stands 8.2 meters, 26.9 feet tall, towering over two-story buildings, and its width, a staggering 9.87 meters, 32.4 feet, making it wider than most city streets. This machine is so huge that transporting it fully assembled is impossible. It has to be delivered in parts and put together at the mining site. But here's the real shocker. The BelAZ 75710 can carry an incredible 450 metric tons of material in one go. That's the weight of about 7 fully loaded Boeing 737 airplanes, or more than 300 regular cars. No other dump truck in the world can match this capacity. Even the second largest mining truck, the Caterpillar 797F, falls short, maxing out at 400 tons. The BelAZ 75710 completely redefined what heavy-duty mining transport means. To put its size into perspective, let's compare it to something more relatable. Picture a school bus. Now imagine 3 of them parked end to end. That's how long this beast is. Or take the height of an African elephant, one of the biggest land animals on Earth. The BelAZ 75710 is nearly 4 times taller. This thing is so massive that most people can walk under it without even having to duck. And because of its gigantic size, the BelAZ 75710 doesn't just drive on any road. In fact, it's too big for normal highways. It operates exclusively in massive open-pit mines, where it hauls tons of rock, minerals and coal across rough terrains. With each trip, it moves an enormous amount of earth, helping mining companies extract resources at an unprecedented scale. But with such extreme size comes extreme weight. Fully loaded, this truck weighs a mind-blowing 810 tons. That's heavier than an entire blue whale, the largest animal on the planet. It's so heavy that special reinforced roads are built in mining sites just to handle the weight. If it ever attempted to drive on a regular street, the asphalt would crumble beneath it. So how does a truck this big even move? You might expect it to have one massive engine, but here's another surprise. The BelAZ 75710 has 2 massive diesel engines working together. That's right. 2 V16 turbocharged engines that generate a combined 4,600 horsepower, making it one of the most powerful land vehicles ever built. But here's where things get even crazier. Despite its size and weight, the BelAZ 75710 can still reach speeds of up to 64 km/h, 40 mph when empty. Fully loaded, it still manages to cruise at 40 km/h, 25 mph. An impressive feat considering the sheer mass it carries. And thanks to its innovative diesel-electric drive system, which powers electric motors in each wheel, it moves smoothly despite carrying an almost unimaginable load. This truck isn't just a technological marvel, it's an absolute necessity in modern mining. Without machines like the BelAZ 75710, mining operations would be slower, less efficient, and far more expensive. This single truck replaces multiple smaller trucks, saving fuel, reducing maintenance costs, and allowing mines to operate on a scale never seen before. And here's the kicker, only a few dozen of these giants have been built, and each one costs around $9 million. That's enough to buy several high-end sports cars, a mansion, and still have millions left over. But for the mining industry, where efficiency equals billions of dollars, the price is well worth it. The BelAZ 75710 isn't just the biggest dump truck in the world. It's a masterpiece of engineering, a record-breaking machine that continues to push the limits of what's possible in heavy machinery. And believe it or not, this is just the beginning. Stick around, because we're only getting started with our list of 10 insane facts about this absolute beast of a machine. Number 2, if you think the size of the BelAZ 75710 is insane, wait until you hear about its power. This is not just any truck, it's a mechanical beast, packed with an engine setup so extreme that it puts most locomotives to shame. The BelAZ 75710 doesn't have just one engine, it has two, and each of them is a V16 turbocharged diesel powerhouse, designed to generate an astonishing amount of force to move this gigantic machine. Let's break this down. Each of these MTU 65-litre V16 engines produces 2,300 horsepower, which means that together they generate a mind-blowing 4,600 horsepower, more power than 4 Bugatti Chirons combined. And that's just raw engine power. When you add in the torque, things get even crazier. This monster delivers an earth-shattering 18,726 Newton-meters of torque. If that number doesn't mean much to you, let's put it in perspective. A high-performance sports car, like a Lamborghini Huracan, produces around 600 Nm of torque. The BelAZ 75710 has over 30 times more. This kind of torque is what allows it to pull 450 metric tons of material up steep mining roads without breaking a sweat. But here's where it gets even more fascinating. The way this truck transfers all that power to its wheels is not like a regular vehicle. Instead of using a traditional transmission system, the BelAZ 75710 is a diesel-electric hybrid. That's right, this gigantic mining truck runs on a similar principle to an electric locomotive. Here's how it works. The two diesel V16 engines don't directly power the wheels. Instead, they drive massive electric generators, which then send power to 4 electric traction motors, one for each of the truck's gigantic wheels. This setup makes it much more efficient and reliable because electric motors provide instant torque, allowing the truck to start moving without the need for a massive gearbox. And the numbers get even more impressive when you consider the energy these motors produce. Each one is capable of 200 kilowatts of power, meaning that the total power output of the electric motors alone is a staggering 4,800 kilowatts. That's more than 6 times the power of an average train locomotive. Now you might be wondering, why does a mining truck need 2 massive engines instead of just one? The answer lies in efficiency and durability. Running 2 engines allows the truck to distribute workload more evenly, reducing wear and tear. Plus, in case one engine needs maintenance, the truck can still operate, albeit with less power, using just the other engine. This redundancy is crucial in the mining industry, where downtime can cost millions of dollars per day. But let's talk about something shocking: fuel consumption. With great power comes great fuel bills, and the BelAZ 75710 is a thirsty beast. It burns through 1,300 liters, 343 gallons of diesel per 100 kilometers, 62 miles. That's over 10 times more than a regular semi-truck, and enough to make even the biggest gas guzzlers look fuel efficient. To keep up with this extreme consumption, the BelAZ 75710 is equipped with an enormous 5,600-litre, 1,480-gallon fuel tank that's about the same amount of fuel you'd need to fill up 100 standard SUVs. And because of the rough mining environments where it operates, refueling happens on site, with massive fuel tankers coming directly to the truck. But even with all this power, the BelAZ 75710 isn't just about brute force. It's also engineered for precision and control. Thanks to its electric drive system, the truck can instantly adjust power to each wheel, allowing it to move smoothly over uneven terrain, climb steep hills with ease, and even navigate tight corners despite its massive size. Another advantage of the diesel-electric system is braking efficiency. Unlike regular trucks that rely purely on hydraulic brakes, the BelAZ 75710 uses regenerative braking. When the driver slows down, the massive electric motors actually work in reverse, converting kinetic energy into electrical energy, which is then dissipated as heat. This not only extends the lifespan of the brakes, but also improves safety, preventing the truck from overheating or losing control on steep descents. So, let's summarize. 2 V16 turbo diesel engines, 4,600 horsepower, 18,626 Nm of torque, a diesel-electric hybrid drive, and an insane fuel consumption rate, all working together to make the BelAZ 75710 the most powerful mining truck ever built. This machine isn't just big, it's a technological masterpiece built to handle the most extreme mining operations on Earth. And the best part, we're just getting started. Stay tuned, because the next fact about this beast is just as jaw-dropping as this one. Number 3. If you thought the engines of the BelAZ 75710 were mind-blowing, wait until you hear about its tires. These aren't just big, they are gigantic, engineered to support the heaviest loads on the planet. Without them, this beast wouldn't even move an inch. But how big are we talking? Let's break it down. Each tire on the BelAZ 75710 stands at an insane 4 meters, 13 feet tall. That's taller than an adult giraffe. Just imagine standing next to one. You wouldn't even reach the middle of the wheel. And they aren't just tall. These tires are over 1.8 meters, 6 feet wide, nearly as wide as a small car. But here's the real shocker. Each of these tires weighs a mind-blowing 5,300 kilograms, 11,700 pounds. That's heavier than a full-size pickup truck, just for one tire. And remember, the BelAZ 75710 doesn't have just 4 wheels like a normal truck. This beast has 8 massive tires, designed to handle the extreme weight of this machine and the colossal loads it carries. So, why does the BelAZ 75710 need 8 wheels instead of the usual 4 or 6 found on most dump trucks? The answer lies in weight distribution. When fully loaded, this truck weighs an unbelievable 810 metric tons. That's so much weight that if it had fewer wheels, the pressure on each tire would be too high, causing them to wear out too quickly or even burst. By doubling the number of tires, BelAZ engineers spread out the weight more evenly, ensuring the truck remains stable and safe on rough mining terrain. Now let's talk about the insane durability of these tires. A standard car tire might last 40,000 to 60,000 miles, but mining truck tires operate in a completely different world. They have to endure extreme heat, rocky surfaces, and massive stress every single day. To handle these brutal conditions, the tires of the BelAZ 75710 are reinforced with ultra-strong rubber compounds, multiple layers of steel, and advanced synthetic materials. This makes them resistant to cuts, punctures, and the insane pressure they endure every second. But even with this extreme durability, these tires don't last forever. Under normal mining operations, they have a lifespan of about 9 to 12 months before needing replacement. That's right. Every year, mining companies operating these trucks need to swap out the tires, which is no small task. Now let's talk about cost. How much do you think one of these tires costs? $10,000, $20,000, think again. Each tire costs around $50,000. That means a full set of 8 tires costs about $400,000, which is more than the price of a brand new Lamborghini Aventador. And since these trucks require regular tire changes, mining companies spend millions just to keep their fleet running. But it's not just about size and cost. These tires also play a crucial role in the performance and efficiency of the truck. Thanks to their enormous contact area, they provide better traction, preventing the truck from sinking into soft ground or slipping on steep inclines. They also help absorb shocks, making it easier for the truck to move smoothly over rough, uneven terrain. Without these monster tires, the BelAZ 75710 wouldn't be able to operate in the harsh conditions of open-pit mines. Another fascinating fact is that these tires are custom-built for the BelAZ 75710. Unlike regular truck tires that can be swapped between different models, these tires are specially engineered to support the extreme weight and torque of this specific truck. Companies like Michelin and Bridgestone manufacture them using some of the most advanced rubber compounds on the planet. And if you think replacing a car tire is tough, imagine changing one of these. Swapping a single tire on the BelAZ 75710 requires heavy-duty hydraulic lifting equipment, specialized tools, and a team of trained mechanics. The process can take several hours per tire, making it one of the most complex maintenance tasks in mining operations. So, to recap, 4-meter-tall tires, 5.3 tons each, costing $50,000 per tire, built for extreme durability and designed to keep the world's biggest truck moving. These tires are not just rubber and air. They are engineering masterpieces that allow the BelAZ 75710 to do what no other truck can. And believe it or not, we're still just scratching the surface of the mind-blowing technology behind this machine. Stick around, because the next fact is just as crazy as this one. Number 4. The BelAZ 75710 isn't just the world's biggest dump truck, it's also one of the most fuel-hungry machines ever built. If you thought a V8 pickup truck was bad on gas, get ready to have your mind blown. This absolute monster of a machine burns fuel at a rate so extreme that it rivals some ships and locomotives. Let's start with the hard numbers. The BelAZ 75710 consumes around 300 liters, 343 gallons of diesel per 100 kilometers, 62 miles. That's more than 10 times the fuel consumption of a semi-truck and roughly 50 times more than an average passenger car. In fact, this beast drinks fuel so fast that in just 1 hour of operation, it can burn through more diesel than most people use in an entire year. To support this massive appetite for fuel, the BelAZ 75710 is equipped with an enormous 5,600-liter, 1,080-gallon fuel tank. Let that sink in, nearly 1,500 gallons of diesel, all in a single tank. That's enough fuel to fill up over 100 regular SUVs or to keep a commercial airplane flying for several hours. But why does it consume so much fuel? The answer lies in its sheer size, power, and workload. This isn't just a big truck. It's an industrial powerhouse designed to move 450 metric tons of material in one go. To put that into perspective, that's more than the weight of 7 fully loaded Boeing 737 airplanes. It takes an incredible amount of energy to move that kind of weight, and that energy has to come from somewhere. This is where its twin 16-cylinder turbocharged diesel engines come in. Each one produces 2,300 horsepower for a combined total of 4,600 horsepower. That's more power than 4 Bugatti Chirons combined, but all that power doesn't come cheap. Running 2 massive engines at full capacity requires an enormous amount of fuel, and with the BelAZ 75710 constantly hauling heavy loads up steep mining roads, those engines are always working hard. And here's the kicker: this truck is actually surprisingly fuel efficient for its size. That might sound crazy, but hear me out. When you compare its fuel consumption to the amount of material it moves, the BelAZ 75710 is actually one of the most efficient mining trucks ever built. Even though it burns through 1,300 liters of fuel per 100 kilometers, it's moving so much weight that in terms of fuel per ton of cargo, it actually performs better than smaller dump trucks that have to make multiple trips to transport the same amount. But just because it's efficient doesn't mean it's cheap to run. At current diesel prices, filling up the tank of a BelAZ 75710 costs tens of thousands of dollars. That's why mining companies operating these trucks don't just refuel them like regular vehicles. Instead, massive fuel tankers come directly to the mining site, refueling the trucks as they operate. This process, known as hot refueling, keeps operations running without the truck having to stop, maximizing efficiency and reducing downtime. Now, let's talk about an interesting side effect of this extreme fuel consumption: heat. When an engine burns fuel, it produces heat as a byproduct. Now imagine two 16-cylinder engines running at full power all day long. The amount of heat generated is enormous. To prevent overheating, the BelAZ 75710 is equipped with a massive cooling system, including multiple radiators and high-powered cooling fans that work non-stop to keep everything at a safe temperature. But mining companies are always looking for ways to reduce fuel costs. That's why there has been growing interest in hybrid and electric mining trucks. Some manufacturers are experimenting with battery-powered and even hydrogen fuel cell alternatives to diesel. But here's the thing: the BelAZ 75710 already has a diesel-electric drive system. Instead of using a traditional transmission, its massive diesel engines generate electricity, which then powers 4 electric motors, one for each wheel. This setup improves efficiency, reduces mechanical wear, and even allows for regenerative braking, which helps recover some energy when slowing down. So, while the BelAZ 75710 is one of the most fuel-hungry machines in existence, it's also a pioneer in fuel efficiency for its class. It's a reminder that when it comes to industrial-scale operations, it's not just about how much fuel you use, it's about how much work you get done per liter of fuel. To sum it up, 300 liters per 100 kilometers, a 5,600-liter fuel tank, over $10,000 per fill-up, and a diesel-electric system that makes it more efficient than you'd think. The BelAZ 75710 is a machine unlike any other, and its fuel consumption is just another example of the extreme engineering that makes it possible. And believe it or not, we're still just scratching the surface. The next fact about this beast is just as mind-blowing, so stick around for more. Number 5. The BelAZ 75710 isn't just the world's biggest dump truck, it's an engineering masterpiece. Every part of this behemoth is designed with one goal: to move the heaviest loads ever carried by a land vehicle as efficiently and reliably as possible. And to achieve that, engineers had to break the rules of conventional truck design and develop one of the most innovative machines in history. Let's start with the most revolutionary feature of the BelAZ 75710. Its diesel-electric drive system. Unlike traditional dump trucks that use a mechanical transmission to transfer power from the engine to the wheels, this monster uses a system similar to that of an electric train. Here's how it works. Instead of directly powering the wheels, the two massive V16 diesel engines drive electric generators, which then send electricity to 4 giant traction motors, one for each wheel. These motors provide instant torque, allowing the truck to start moving smoothly, even when fully loaded with 450 metric tons of material. This setup eliminates the need for a traditional gearbox, which would be incredibly difficult to design and maintain for such an extreme machine. Why is this system such a big deal? For one, it increases efficiency by reducing mechanical wear. Traditional dump trucks with mechanical drivetrains suffer from huge amounts of stress on their gears and axles, leading to frequent breakdowns and costly maintenance. The BelAZ 75710, however, distributes power electronically, meaning fewer moving parts that can fail. Another huge advantage is that the electric motors allow for precise control of each wheel's power. This means the truck can easily handle uneven terrain, steep inclines and tight turns in massive open-pit mines. In fact, this engineering feat makes it one of the most maneuverable mining trucks despite its colossal size. But let's talk about something even crazier: regenerative braking. That's right, just like an electric car, the BelAZ 75710 can actually recover energy while braking. When this truck slows down, the massive electric motors switch into generator mode, converting the kinetic energy back into electricity instead of wasting it as heat. This feature reduces brake wear, improves efficiency, and helps the truck handle steep downhill slopes with ease. And let's not forget the truck's suspension system, which has to support 810 metric tons when fully loaded. Unlike regular trucks, which use leaf springs or coil suspension, the BelAZ 75710 is equipped with heavy-duty, high-drop pneumatic suspension. This system uses high-pressure oil and nitrogen gas to absorb shocks, ensuring that the truck remains stable and comfortable for the operator even on rough, rocky terrain. Speaking of the operator, let's talk about the cockpit. You might expect such a massive industrial machine to have a simple, rugged interior, but the BelAZ 75710's cabin is actually surprisingly advanced. The driver sits high above the ground with a panoramic view of the surrounding terrain. The control panel is packed with digital displays, monitoring systems, and advanced diagnostics, allowing the operator to track everything from engine performance to tire pressure in real time. But what about the chassis? This truck isn't just a giant metal box on wheels. It's built using high-strength, reinforced steel designed to handle extreme stress without bending or cracking. The frame itself is engineered to withstand massive torsional forces, ensuring that the truck remains structurally sound even when carrying record-breaking loads over uneven surfaces. Now, let's discuss the dumping mechanism, which is another marvel of engineering. When it's time to unload its cargo, the BelAZ 75710 uses massive hydraulic cylinders that lift the entire dump bed, allowing the material to slide out effortlessly. These cylinders generate enough force to lift 450 metric tons, the equivalent of 2 blue whales. The entire dumping process takes just a few minutes, allowing for quick turnaround times in mining operations. And if you think a truck this big is hard to maintain, think again. Engineers designed the BelAZ 75710 with modular components, meaning that individual systems like the engines, motors, and hydraulic systems can be replaced or repaired without disassembling the entire truck. This design makes maintenance faster, easier, and more cost-effective, which is crucial in the mining industry, where downtime can mean millions of dollars in lost productivity. But here's something you might not expect. Despite being the biggest dump truck in the world, the BelAZ 75710 is one of the most fuel-efficient trucks in its category. Its diesel-electric drive system significantly reduces fuel consumption compared to traditional mechanical drive trucks, which waste a lot of energy through friction and heat loss in their transmissions. This is why, despite its monstrous 1,300 per 100-kilometer fuel consumption, it actually moves more material per liter of fuel than smaller mining trucks, making it a surprisingly economical choice for large-scale mining operations. So, to sum it up, diesel-electric hybrid drive for improved efficiency and lower maintenance, 4 independent electric motors for precision control and instant torque, regenerative braking to recover energy and extend brake life, high-drop pneumatic suspension for stability under extreme loads, reinforced steel chassis to handle the toughest mining conditions, massive hydraulic dump system capable of unloading 450 tons in minutes, modular design for easy maintenance and reduced downtime. The BelAZ 75710 is more than just a truck. It's a technological marvel, redefining what's possible in the world of mining and heavy machinery. And the crazy part, we're still not done with this beast. Stick around for more jaw-dropping facts about this record-breaking machine. Number 6. The BelAZ 75710 is not just the world's biggest dump truck, it's a symbol of engineering excellence, built in a country that many people don't associate with massive industrial machines. This monster was designed and manufactured in Belarus, a nation with a long history of heavy machinery production. But how did Belarus become home to the biggest truck in the world? The story behind the BelAZ 75710's origins is just as fascinating as the machine itself. Let's start with the company responsible for this engineering marvel, BelAZ. The name stands for Belarusian Auto Works, and it has been a leading force in the mining truck industry for decades. Founded in 1948, BelAZ started as a small manufacturer producing agricultural and construction vehicles. However, by the 1960s, it had shifted its focus entirely to heavy-duty mining trucks, quickly gaining a reputation for building some of the toughest and most reliable haul trucks in the world. BelAZ is headquartered in Zhodino, a small industrial city about 50 kilometers from Minsk, the capital of Belarus. This is where the magic happens. The BelAZ factory is one of the largest industrial complexes in the country, covering an area of more than 220 hectares. This massive facility is capable of producing hundreds of mining trucks per year, with models ranging from smaller 30-ton haulers to the record-breaking 450-ton BelAZ 75710. But why was Belarus chosen as the home for such an advanced piece of engineering? The answer lies in the Soviet Union's approach to industrial specialization. During the Soviet era, different republics were assigned specific industries. Belarus became a hub for machinery and heavy equipment production. As a result, BelAZ received massive investments in technology, research, and skilled labor, allowing it to become one of the top mining truck manufacturers in the world. Even after the collapse of the Soviet Union, BelAZ continued to thrive, developing cutting-edge mining trucks that are now used in countries across the globe. The BelAZ 75710 was developed in response to the growing demand for ultra-heavy-duty haul trucks in large mining operations. Mining companies needed a truck that could move more material in a single trip, increasing efficiency and reducing operational costs. Engineers at BelAZ took on the challenge and in 2013 unveiled the 75710, the largest and most powerful dump truck the world had ever seen. One of the most impressive aspects of BelAZ's manufacturing process is the sheer scale of production. Unlike a typical car factory, where thousands of units roll off the assembly line every day, building a single BelAZ 75710 is a highly specialized process that requires months of precision engineering. Every component, from the massive frame to the advanced diesel-electric drivetrain, is meticulously designed and assembled by expert technicians. The tires alone are so massive that they have to be shipped separately and installed at the mining site. The truck's two enormous V16 diesel engines are also built in specialized facilities and then integrated into the chassis during the final assembly process. Once the truck is fully assembled, it undergoes rigorous testing to ensure it can handle extreme mining conditions, including steep inclines, heavy loads, and harsh weather environments. Today, BelAZ trucks are exported to mining operations all over the world. Countries like Russia, Kazakhstan, India, China, and even South America rely on BelAZ trucks to transport vast amounts of coal, iron ore, and other minerals. The BelAZ 75710, in particular, is used in some of the largest open-pit mines on Earth, where its massive hauling capacity gives mining companies a significant competitive advantage. But BelAZ is not just focused on building bigger trucks. It is also investing in the future of mining technology. The company is actively researching hybrid and fully electric mining trucks to reduce fuel consumption and emissions. With the rise of automation in the mining industry, BelAZ is also developing autonomous truck technology, allowing these massive machines to operate with minimal human intervention. Despite being based in a relatively small country, BelAZ has made a huge impact on the global mining industry. Its trucks are known for their durability, reliability, and ability to withstand the most extreme conditions on the planet. The BelAZ 75710 is not just the largest mining truck ever built. It is a testament to the engineering expertise that Belarus has developed over decades of industrial innovation. So to sum it up, the BelAZ 75710 was born in Belarus, built by one of the world's leading heavy machinery manufacturers, and designed to meet the growing demands of the global mining industry. From the massive production facility in Jodino to the largest mines in the world, this truck is a true engineering masterpiece. And believe it or not, we're still not done with this beast. There's even more mind-blowing information coming up, so stick around. Number 7. When it comes to sheer weight, no truck in the world comes close to the BelAZ 75710. This is not just a heavy-duty mining vehicle. It is an absolute titan, designed to carry loads so massive that it defies logic. The numbers behind its total weight are almost unbelievable, and once you understand just how much mass this machine moves, you will never look at a regular dump truck the same way again. Let's start with the basic numbers. The BelAZ 75710 has an empty weight of 360 metric tons. That means even when it is completely unloaded, it already weighs more than an Airbus A320 commercial airplane. To put it in perspective, a standard 18-wheeler truck weighs around 36 tons when fully loaded. The BelAZ 75710 is 10 times heavier than that, before even picking up a single rock. But the real insanity begins when this truck is fully loaded. The BelAZ 75710 can carry an additional 450 metric tons of material, giving it a maximum operating weight of 810 metric tons. That is heavier than 5 fully loaded Boeing 747 jumbo jets, or about the same as 1,000 average cars stacked on top of each other. When this truck rolls across a mining site, it is moving more weight than some entire buildings. The reason for such an extreme weight is simple. Mining operations need to move as much material as possible in the shortest amount of time. Every trip a mining truck takes costs money, fuel, maintenance, labor, so reducing the number of trips by carrying more material at once makes operations far more efficient. The BelAZ 75710 was built to answer this need, allowing mining companies to transport record-breaking amounts of ore, coal, and other minerals with every trip. Of course, moving 810 metric tons is not a simple task. The sheer weight of this machine creates engineering challenges that very few vehicles in the world have to deal with. For example, a normal road or highway would collapse under the weight of the BelAZ 75710. That is why these trucks are only used in large open pit mines, where the roads are specially reinforced to handle their extreme loads. Even the ground beneath the truck must be carefully managed. If the soil is too soft, the truck could sink under its own weight. Mining companies must build stable, compacted roads with layers of rock and gravel to ensure that these behemoths can move safely. In some cases, engineers have to constantly monitor and maintain the roads just to keep the truck from getting stuck. The truck's wheels also play a crucial role in handling its incredible weight. Each of its 8 massive tires must support over 100 metric tons, and they are built with some of the strongest rubber compounds in the world. A regular car tire would explode instantly under even a fraction of this weight. But the BelAZ 75710's custom-made tires are designed to withstand extreme pressure, heat, and impact. But how do you stop something that weighs 810 metric tons? Braking at this scale is a serious challenge. The truck uses a combination of hydraulic brakes and an advanced regenerative braking system that helps slow it down without putting excessive strain on the mechanical components. The electric motors in each wheel also assist in braking, converting some of the energy into electricity rather than wasting it as heat. Even with all of these systems, bringing the BelAZ 75710 to a complete stop requires hundreds of meters of distance. The suspension system also had to be designed from scratch to handle the truck's extreme weight. Instead of traditional springs or shocks, the BelAZ 75710 uses a hydropneumatic suspension system, which relies on a combination of high-pressure gas and hydraulic fluid to absorb impacts. This helps prevent excessive stress on the frame and keeps the truck stable, even when carrying its heaviest loads. Despite its enormous weight, the BelAZ 75710 is actually surprisingly fast for a mining truck. When empty, it can reach speeds of up to 64 km/h. 40 cm, and even when fully loaded, it can still move at an impressive 40 km/h, 25 mph. That might not sound fast compared to a normal car, but for a vehicle that weighs more than 800 tons, it is an engineering miracle. The weight of this truck also affects how it is transported. Unlike regular trucks that can simply be driven to their destination, the BelAZ 757 is too heavy to be transported in one piece. When a mining company orders one, it is shipped in multiple parts and then assembled on site. Even then, moving it from one mine to another can be a logistical nightmare, requiring massive cranes, transport platforms, and specialized equipment just to relocate it. So to sum it up, the BelAZ 757 weighs 360 tons when empty and 810 tons when fully loaded. It is heavier than 5 jumbo jets, requires specially reinforced roads to operate, and relies on advanced braking and suspension systems just to stay in control. It is not just the biggest dump truck in the world, it is one of the heaviest vehicles ever built. The mind-blowing engineering behind this truck does not stop at its weight. There is still so much more to uncover, so stay tuned for the next unbelievable fact about this record-breaking machine. Number 8. The BelAZ 757 is a true giant. But one thing is certain, this truck was never meant to drive on normal roads. In fact, if you saw one of these monsters cruising down a city street, something would have gone terribly wrong. The truth is, this truck is so massive, so heavy, and so uniquely designed that it simply cannot operate on standard highways. But why is that? Let's break it down. First, let's talk about its sheer size. The BelAZ 757 is over 20.6 meters, 67.6 feet long, nearly 10 meters, 32.4 feet wide, and stands at a towering 8.2 meters, 26.9 feet tall. That is wider than most two-lane roads and taller than many streetlights. If this truck were to drive on a regular highway, it would block multiple lanes at once, creating absolute chaos. Then there is the issue of weight. When fully loaded, the BelAZ 757 weighs an almost unbelievable 810 metric tons. To put that into perspective, the average highway bridge is designed to support loads of around 40 metric tons. This means that if the BelAZ 757 were to drive over a standard bridge, it could cause structural failure, leading to catastrophic consequences. Even the thickest asphalt roads would struggle to support its weight. Over time, the sheer pressure from its 8 massive tires would crack and destroy the pavement. But it is not just about weight. The turning radius of the BelAZ 757 is another major issue. A normal semi-truck already requires a significant amount of space to make a turn, but the BelAZ 757 takes this to another level. Its enormous wheelbase and rigid frame mean that it needs wide, specially designed paths just to navigate. If it were placed on a regular street, it would have no way to maneuver without plowing through buildings, sidewalks, and anything else in its path. This is why the BelAZ 757 operates exclusively in massive open-pit mines. These mines are designed with roads that can handle extreme loads, featuring reinforced surfaces made of compacted rock and gravel instead of asphalt. These mining roads are also much wider than normal roads, giving the BelAZ enough space to turn, accelerate, and stop safely. In many cases, these roads are constantly maintained and repaired by specialized crews, ensuring they remain capable of supporting the heavy traffic of mining trucks. Another key reason the BelAZ 757 cannot drive on normal roads is its speed, or rather, the lack of it. When empty, the truck can reach speeds of up to 64 kilometers per hour, 40 miles per hour, which might seem decent at first. However, when fully loaded with 450 metric tons of material, its maximum speed drops to around 40 kilometers per hour, 25 miles per hour. On a normal highway, this would make it slower than almost every other vehicle on the road, creating massive traffic issues. Imagine being stuck behind one of these giants with no way to pass. It would turn a simple commute into a nightmare. Fuel consumption is another major factor. The BelAZ 75710 burns through diesel at a rate of around 1,300 liters per 100 kilometers, 343 gallons per 62 miles. A standard gas station would not even come close to providing enough fuel for this beast, and refueling it on a highway would be nearly impossible. That is why mining sites have dedicated fuel stations with massive tanks capable of keeping these trucks running around the clock. And then there is the fact that the BelAZ 75710 is simply not built for smooth roads. Unlike regular trucks that use rubber suspension systems to absorb shocks, this mining truck is designed to handle rough, uneven terrain. Its hydropneumatic suspension helps it glide over rocky surfaces, but on a paved road, it would not provide the same level of comfort or efficiency. In short, this truck belongs in a mine, not on a highway. Transporting the BelAZ 75710 from one mining site to another is an enormous logistical challenge. Because it is too big and too heavy to be driven on regular roads, it must be shipped in separate parts and assembled at its final destination. The massive tires, engines, and even the dump bed are transported on special heavy-duty trailers, and once they arrive, a team of engineers and mechanics spend days putting everything together. This process is costly and time-consuming, but there is simply no other way to move a machine of this scale. So, to sum it up, the BelAZ 75710 is too big, too heavy, too slow, and too specialized to ever be seen driving on regular roads. Instead, it operates in massive mines, where every road is built to support its extreme weight and size. This truck is a true engineering marvel, but it is also a machine that belongs in one place and one place only, the world's largest mining operations. And believe it or not, we are still not finished uncovering the mind-blowing facts about this truck. Stay tuned for the next incredible detail about the world's biggest dump truck. Number 9. When you look at the BelAZ 75710, speed is probably the last thing that comes to mind. After all, this is the biggest and heaviest dump truck ever built, designed to carry mind-blowing amounts of material in the world's largest mines. But here's the surprising part. Despite weighing up to 810 metric tons when fully loaded, the BelAZ 75710 can still move at speeds that most people would never expect from a machine of this size. Let's start with the numbers. When completely empty, this mining beast can reach a top speed of 64 kilometers per hour, or about 40 miles per hour. That might not sound fast compared to a car or even a semi-truck, but for a machine that is longer than a basketball court and heavier than 5 Boeing 747 jumbo jets, it is nothing short of incredible. Even when fully loaded with 450 metric tons of material, the BelAZ 75710 can still reach speeds of up to 40 kilometers per hour or 25 miles per hour. Again, this might not seem impressive at first glance, but considering that the truck is carrying the equivalent weight of 300 regular passenger cars in a single trip, it is an astonishing engineering achievement. But how does a truck this massive even move at these speeds? The secret lies in its revolutionary diesel-electric drivetrain. Instead of using a traditional mechanical transmission, the BelAZ 75710 operates like an electric locomotive. It has 2 gigantic V16 diesel engines that generate electricity, which is then used to power 4 massive electric motors, one for each wheel. This setup allows the truck to deliver instant torque to the wheels, ensuring smooth acceleration and the ability to maintain consistent speeds even when carrying the heaviest loads. This system is a game changer in the mining industry. Traditional dump trucks with mechanical transmissions struggle with shifting gears under heavy loads, which can slow them down and reduce efficiency. But because the BelAZ 75710 uses an electric drivetrain, it can distribute power more efficiently and maintain a steady speed without the delays and mechanical wear associated with gear shifting. Another key factor in the truck's surprising speed is its unique wheel configuration. Unlike most mining trucks that have 6 wheels, the BelAZ 75710 has 8. This design helps distribute the truck's enormous weight more evenly, reducing stress on individual tires and improving traction. More traction means less energy wasted and better overall performance on rough mining terrain. But speed is not just about how fast this truck can go, it is also about how well it can stop. At 8 and 10 metric tons, bringing this beast to a halt is no easy task. That is why the BelAZ 75710 relies on a combination of powerful hydraulic brakes and an advanced regenerative braking system. The regenerative braking system works by converting kinetic energy into electricity, helping to slow the truck down while also reducing wear on its mechanical brakes. This technology is similar to what you would find in modern electric cars, but on a much larger scale. The truck's ability to maintain a relatively high speed, even when fully loaded, is a massive advantage for mining operations. The faster it can transport materials from one point to another, the more efficient the mining process becomes. Every minute saved on transport translates to more material moved per hour, which in turn means higher productivity and profitability for mining companies. Of course, there are limits to how fast the BelAZ 75710 can go. The truck is designed for off-road mining conditions, where steep inclines, loose gravel, and rocky terrain are common. While it might be capable of reaching 64 kilometers per hour in ideal conditions, in real mining environments, it often operates at slightly lower speeds to ensure safety and stability. Engineers also have to consider heat buildup, as the immense energy required to move this truck at high speeds can put extra strain on its engines and braking system. Despite these challenges, the BelAZ 75710 remains one of the fastest ultra-heavy mining trucks ever built. Many of its competitors, such as the Caterpillar 797F or the Komatsu 980E4, have similar or lower top speeds while carrying less weight. This is one of the many reasons why the BelAZ 75710 is considered a breakthrough in mining technology. One of the most fascinating aspects of the truck's speed is how it feels from the driver's perspective. Sitting inside the cab, the driver is positioned more than 8 meters above the ground, looking down on the mining site below. At maximum speed, the truck's enormous tires roll smoothly over the terrain, and thanks to its advanced suspension system, the ride is surprisingly stable. However, due to its sheer size, even the slightest turns require careful handling. At high speeds, momentum is a major factor, and the driver must always be aware of stopping distances and road conditions to prevent any loss of control. The BelAZ 75710 is a perfect example of how size and speed can go hand in hand when engineering is pushed to its limits. Despite being the largest mining truck in the world, it is still able to move at speeds that maximize efficiency and productivity without compromising safety. This combination of power, advanced technology, and intelligent design makes it one of the most impressive vehicles ever created. And believe it or not, we are still not done uncovering the incredible details about this machine. Stay tuned, because the final fact about the BelAZ 75710 is just as jaw-dropping as everything you have learned so far. Number 10. When it comes to the BelAZ 75710, everything about it is extreme. Its size, its weight, its power, and even its fuel consumption. But one of the most shocking aspects of this beast is its price. This is not just an expensive truck, it is a multi-million-dollar investment that only the biggest mining operations in the world can afford. The cost of owning one of these giants is so high that it makes luxury supercars and even private jets seem cheap in comparison. So how much does the BelAZ 75710 actually cost? A brand new unit is priced at around $9 million. That is right, $9 million for a single truck. To put that into perspective, for the same amount of money, you could buy several Lamborghini Aventadors, a fleet of Rolls-Royce Phantoms, or even a fully loaded Gulfstream private jet. Yet for mining companies, this truck is worth every penny, but the price of the truck itself is just the beginning. The cost of owning and operating a BelAZ 75710 goes far beyond its initial purchase price. Mining companies must also account for maintenance, fuel, and spare parts, all of which add millions of dollars in operational expenses over the truck's lifetime. Let's start with fuel costs. The BelAZ 75710 is one of the most fuel-hungry machines ever built, consuming around 1,300 liters of diesel per 100 kilometers. That means in just one workday, this truck can burn through thousands of liters of fuel. At current diesel prices, filling up its massive 5,600-liter fuel tank can cost tens of thousands of dollars. And since these trucks operate almost continuously in massive mining operations, fuel expenses alone can add up to millions of dollars per year. Then there are the tires. Each of the BelAZ 75710's 8 massive tires costs around $50,000. That means a full set of tires alone costs around $400,000, almost $500,000 just for the wheels. And since these tires wear out over time due to the enormous loads they carry, they must be replaced regularly, adding even more to the total cost of ownership. Maintenance is another major expense. Mining trucks operate in some of the harshest environments on Earth, facing extreme heat, dust, and constant mechanical stress. To keep a BelAZ 75710 running smoothly, companies must employ teams of specialized mechanics who perform regular inspections, oil changes, engine tune-ups, and repairs. The cost of maintaining one of these trucks can easily reach hundreds of thousands of dollars per year. And what happens if something breaks? Replacing parts on a BelAZ 75710 is not like replacing parts on a normal truck. The engines, axles, and hydraulic systems are custom-built for extreme durability, and sourcing replacement parts is expensive and time-consuming. For example, a single engine for this truck can cost more than $500,000. And because the truck uses a diesel-electric drivetrain, specialized technicians are required to work on its electrical components, adding even more to maintenance costs. But despite its massive price tag, mining companies still buy these trucks because in the long run, they save money. The BelAZ 75710 can haul more material in a single trip than any other dump truck in the world. That means fewer trips, less fuel wasted, and higher efficiency. A mining operation that uses the BelAZ 75710 can move more material per hour than operations using smaller trucks, making it a cost-effective choice for companies extracting millions of tons of resources each year. There is also the question of resale value. Unlike regular vehicles that lose value quickly, ultra-heavy mining trucks like the BelAZ 75710 retain their value much longer. Well-maintained trucks can be sold to other mining companies even after years of use, making them a long-term investment rather than a simple expense. But here is something even crazier. Some mining companies do not just buy one or two of these trucks, they buy entire fleets. Imagine spending over $100 million just to equip a mine with a set of these behemoths. For the biggest mining operations in the world, that kind of investment is normal, as long as it means more efficiency and profitability. So to sum it up, the BelAZ 75710 costs around $9 million, with operating expenses that can reach millions more every year. Fuel, tires, maintenance, and repairs all add to the massive price of ownership. Yet despite its astronomical cost, this truck remains a game changer in the mining industry, proving that sometimes spending millions can actually save even more in the long run. This brings us to the end of our deep dive into the BelAZ 75710, the world's largest and most powerful dump truck. From its jaw-dropping size to its record-breaking payload capacity, everything about this machine is designed to push the limits of what is possible in mining technology. It's more than just a truck. It is an engineering marvel, a symbol of industrial power, and a machine that continues to set the standard for heavy-duty transport. Thank you for joining this journey into the world of extreme engineering. If you enjoyed learning about this incredible machine, be sure to stick around for more amazing facts about the world's biggest, fastest, and most powerful machines. And there you have it, the 10 most insane facts about the BelAZ 75710, the biggest and most powerful dump truck on the planet. Now, I want to hear from you. Which fact shocked you the most? Was it the mind-blowing weight, the monstrous fuel consumption, or the jaw-dropping price? Drop a comment below and let me know. And if you love learning about extreme machines like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We have even more incredible content coming your way, and you won't want to miss it. Thanks for watching.